dark brown eyes are flawless, but they just hide your growing pride. You've used this muse so careless. When did you stop being on my side? You put your life on hold for fame. I watched you grow to a crying shame. You broke my heart just to pave your way. You made me feel like always never enough, always never enough, always way too much for any man. Should I bite my tongue? Do I play too rough? Should I try my luck with another man? Think I'd rather run while I still can. You chasing dreams that will not come. You didn't see you'd already won. Too busy being selfish, too focused, staying focused. You drove a crooked bargain, selling me truths you could not keep. You're such a selfish lover. You made me feel like always never enough, always never enough, always way too much for any man. Should I bite my tongue? Do I play too rough? Should I try my luck with another man? Think I'd rather run while I still can. You make me feel broken. He makes me feel broken. They made me feel broken. You made me feel like always never enough, always never enough, always way too much for any man. Should I bite my tongue? Do I play too rough? Should I try my luck with another man? Think I'd rather run while I still can. Whoa. I still can.
Oh, that's Catherine Britt's brand new single, Always Never Enough, the officially released CD today. Welcome to Rock That Country, Catherine Britt.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is no problems. How have you been?
I've been great. It's been a hectic day so far. Obviously album release day, so I've been on the radio since I think my first interview was like 7 a.m. or something this morning, and I was in bed at 2 a.m. last night after our first gig of this tour. So it's I'm going on a few hours sleep. That's right.
You're in demand, mate. First of all, I should say congratulations on
Thank
a
you.
stunning collection of songs.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to know is this is your 5th studio album,
It is, yes.
and this one is distinctly different from the other 4.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the change?
Well, look, I think every album I've made is quite different from the next. I mean, granted, it's always a Catherine Britt record. Like, it always sounds like me, and it's always distinctive in that way. But I think that they're all quite different, and that's something I do deliberately. I don't ever want to release the same album twice. I just find that I don't like that in my favourite artists. Like, when I fall in love with an artist, I love to see them be adventurous and try new things and always constantly push themselves. And that's, the title track, Always Never Enough, is all about. I can't just settle with, I'm happy with who I am. I've always got to push to, I'm a perfectionist. I've always got to push and strive for more. So,
yeah, I'm hearing that.
Yeah, so it reflects in my music, and it reflects in what I do, with my albums as well. So, I want to try something different. We went over to Austin, Texas and recorded this one, and me and Bill were the only two flying the Aussie flag. But it was great, it was such a great experience. I've always wanted to make a record there, so it was just perfect for this album.
Yeah, no, and You actually played guitar on this album for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, so that must have been a thrill for you as well to hear your own guitar work on a CD.
Yeah, look, I've done the odd thing here and there before on CDs, but I've never been the rhythm guitar player in the band on my album, and this is the first time we tried it. And look, I'm not the greatest rhythm guitar player in the world, but that's not the point. The point is no one can play like me, and, you know, not in a good or bad way. Just, it's my unique, it's my unique playing. And I think when I'm trying to give an honest album and say, hey, this is me, this is what you're going to see when you come see me live, I think that there's no better way to do that than actually do what I do live, which is play and sing, you know. And I wrote these songs, me and my guitar, so it starts there. So it needs to kind of continue on from that. And I think that's what makes this album special, is it's so me, you know.
Yeah, and I've got to admit, there is an authenticity involved when if you play the guitar on the CD, and you sing, people want to see you do that on the stage. So what you do on the stage, they just want you to do that on the CD. There has to be that collaboration. And I know I've been to see some bands, and you know that they're great performers, they're great guitarists on the album, but when you see them live and they just sing into a mic, you know, and you are a little bit disappointed. So for what you're doing, that's great. It's a credit to you, because that's what people want to see. Yeah,
I think it's important. And, you know, we recorded this whole album live for exactly that reason. When people come out and see me play, I want them to see what they hear on the record. I don't want them to hear an auto-tuned perfection. You know, the album has notes here and there that aren't perfect, but I think that it means something to stand in a room like they used to back in the good old days before they had auto-tuning and fixing and all these things. And if you can't pull that off, that's what I told myself. I said, if I can't do this, I need to quit the music business, because you know, you have to be good enough to do that. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, if you're not good enough to do that, then you shouldn't be a musician. You know, you shouldn't be a singer. So I just kind of challenged myself and went for it. And it was the scariest thing in the world, but we pulled it off somehow.
And you're giving yourself reality checks there by the sound of it. Just make sure.
Exactly.
Tell me about the Woody Guthrie Festival.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good. Look,
first time you've been? Yes.
First time I've been. I hope to go back many, many times. But this year was the 100-year anniversary, so if Woody was alive today, he'd be 100 years old. And it was just great. It was in his hometown, in Okima, Oklahoma, which is basically the middle of nowhere, America, in the Midwest. It was incredible. Like, looked like a movie. It was really cool. But yeah, look, the artists on it were just incredible. Like Billy Bragg, he made the album with Wilco, with all the Woody Guthrie songs, and then Judy Collins and Melanie and Jimmy LaFave, and it was just like full of all these incredible folk classic, John Volkart and all that sort of stuff. It was just amazing, and it was incredible to be able to say I was on that festival with them. I got my T-shirt, my name's on there with like all these really cool people, but it just was really incredible. I'm so glad I did it.
Well, it's a world famous festival, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
It stands alone in the way of a folk festival as well.
Yeah.
So you're playing at Lizottes King Cumber this evening.
Yes,
is that the official launch gig, or are you officially launching?
I didn't even think about that. We didn't do an album launch for this album. I did a album launch for the record label 2 nights ago, and for media and all that sort of stuff. But it was just a small thing. And normally we do some sort of launch, but I guess I could call that. I don't know how Tim will feel about that, but I'll just steal the show and say it's my album launch. Yeah. I'm sure you won't mind.
That's okay with me, mate. No problem at all. So what say we might listen to another track to take us into the news. Now you're going to stay with me on the other side of the news, because we've got more to chat about. So I'm going to play now the song Sally Bones, because I like this one as well. So let's run this one out. Catherine Britt, stay with me. You're listening to Rock That Country with Kylz on today's Country 94.1. Don't go away.
Just an orphan girl from Alice Springs. My name is Sally Bones. When I was 13, I ran away from a hell that I called home. Met him by a garbage bin, stoking the fire. I needed warmth from the cold. You were so much older than me, but I didn't care, 'cause I knew you loved me so. On my 15th birthday, you gave me a ring from the $2 machine. We got married, moved to the creek. It wasn't all that it seemed. I should be 60 now, but I'm as light as a feather. I should be 60 now. Yeah, I'll haunt you forever. You won't eat, you won't think. Yeah, I'll drive you insane. I'll make sure that you won't ever sleep again. You buried my fragile bones underneath the bridge. You thought no one would ever know. Thought you could get away with blood on your hands, 'cause no one cares about Sally Burns. Well, I should be 18 now, but I'm as light as a feather. I should be 18 now. Yeah. Sure that you won't ever sleep again. I'm just an orphan girl from Alice Springs. My name is Sally Burns.
It's 1:04. You're listening to Kyl's Rock That Country on today's Country 94.1. We are speaking with the beautiful and talented Catherine Britt this afternoon. Welcome back, Catherine.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Now, one of the questions, I've been having a look at your tour dates, and by Jesus, you've got a lot, mate. Almost back to back.
Yeah, there is a lot.
There is a lot. What I want to know is, how do you prepare for a show when you have them literally so close together and they're obviously very vocal shows?
Yeah.
How do you prepare your voice and how do you prepare yourself?
Well, look, I mean, my main focus in my job is to take care of my instrument, and that is my voice, and obviously not break my hands so I can play guitar. But I can get away with that, you know. But my voice is something that I've developed over a long time, and developed a strength in that, I don't really lose my voice anymore. And I'm not, I do special things, like if I've got a day off, I'll go on voice rest for a day. I just won't talk if I have a couple of days off, I'll do that as well. And it's actually quite calming. It's really nice, and it's a great way to live for a couple of days, especially when you get the days off. And you just don't talk, and it's complete voice rest, and it just does wonders, brings back your whole range. But when I'm on stage, I never got lessons or anything, but I know how to sing properly. I know what feels like it's doing something wrong, and I know when I'm doing something that's not great for my voice or whatever, and I definitely do that because I never learned how to sing properly. But I just, I also warm up my voice. These are all things I had to learn. I lost my voice when I was living over in America, actually, and I had to go on a week voice rest, and it was just, I almost went insane by the end of the week. But, you know, I had like my vocal cords were all like risen and red and raw, and I didn't know how to take care of them because I'd never learnt. And they taught me all these techniques and things to do, and voice rest and warming up and all that sort of stuff, and I do all of it now. So I just try and be smart about it. But, you know, I'm like anyone, I mess up, and, you know, I'm pretty hopeless really, but yes.
No, that's cool, because I do wonder, I've obviously never been on the stage or a musician or anything like that, although I've been around them for a long time.
Yeah.
And it is something that I always wonder about, because, you know, we were speaking to Bob Corbett just, I don't know, a week
Bob.
or so a week. Yeah, Bob, he's a classic.
He's great.
And when he plays up at Tamworth, he literally does a show back-to-back for 10 days straight. Wow. And one year I was up there, he did 2 in one day and then continued to do them back-to-back. And I was just like, man, how do you do that? You know, like I talk here for 3 hours. Well, you know, roughly. I go home and I go, man, I'm already croaky and my voice is tired, so I don't know how you guys do a really full-on show. Now, I was reading too, I've got some information here on you, and you've got a special you've got a limited edition iTunes downloadable CD. Yeah. Now that is, what have you got? You've got, includes 5 stunning acoustic songs recorded live at the ABC studios. Yeah. That's just on download, just on iTunes, isn't it, as a download?
Actually, no. That's also, you can buy the album like you have it here in the jewel casing, which is just the album, and then you can buy it, which some stores will choose to do that because it's cheaper, but some of them will actually buy in the limited edition. It's a digipack, so it's the cardboard, and then it has the extra tracks. And then iTunes is a different thing again. If you buy it on iTunes, you actually get a special iTunes track, which is a song I wrote for my best mate about gay marriage, actually. But it's a great song that you can't get if you buy it physically. So
I got
iTunes
ripped,
is like
basically,
that.
didn't I?
Yeah, no, but you get a song on there, All I Recall, that's not on the iTunes version.
Yeah, and that's a special song, isn't it?
So it's the very last track. So it's so today you've got to give everyone something exclusive, and that's the way it goes. It would annoy me if I was a fan, to be honest. I'd be like, how many versions do I have to buy?
It would annoy me too, Catherine.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about Charlestown Road.
Well, Charlestown Road is where I grew up, in Newcastle. Very proud Novocastrian.
It's not far from me.
Yeah, it's a great, I definitely didn't grow up in the country. I grew up on a main road, freeway through Newcastle, basically. So I went to sleep at night with, the truckies going to Sydney, and I just got used to that. And it was a great way to grow up, though. Everyone has a soft spot in their heart for their childhood home, I think. It's like...
They do.
It's where I learnt to walk. It's where I learnt to talk, and it's just... I'll never forget the memories there, and it's just such a special place. It looks nothing like the shack that I grew up in now. It's like this big mansion they've just added to it, and it looks horrible. But when I grew up there, my grandparents owned
progress,
it.
Darling.
Yeah, I know. My grandparents owned it, and then they raised their family in it, and they sold it to my mum and dad. They raised their kids in it, and then when we moved out, my brother rented it out and raised his kids in it. So it was in the family for a long time, and it was just really sad when we sold it. I don't think I spoke to my parents for a week. I was so mad.
You grabbed your bat and ball and went home.
Yes, it's mine. Dang it.
No, yes, that's cool. And you still do live in Newcastle, but don't
I do.
You now?
Yeah, I'm back there now. I've moved all over, but I'm back in Newcastle now, and I think I'll stay there. I really love it.
It's a great spot, isn't it? Yeah.
It's perfect.
I moved away for 12 or 13 years. I was married, lived on the mid-north coast, and I've moved back to Newcastle now, and I love the country. Yeah. But there's no place like home, really, is there?
No.
Like you said, you go back to your roots, just like singers and musicians do. They go back to their roots, produce some of their best albums and whatnot. And it's the same for people. I've moved back into my home area, and I couldn't be happier, actually.
Yeah, look, it's great to be surrounded by my friends and family. When I'm not on tour, the first thing I want to do is see my family and friends. So, and that's all I focus on when I'm not busy. So why would I be anywhere else when I can be right there with my family? And it's balance.
And speaking of friends and family, I've got to ask you this. Do your friends and family sort of go, well, maybe not so much your family because they've known you forever, but do your friends now tell their other friends, hey, I know Catherine Britt? Do they do that? Do you get that?
So.
Do you get
I hope not. But no, look, they're funny. I don't have... And the older I get, especially, in the recent times, I've realised you can count your real friends on one hand.
Yes, you can.
And I think that, they're the people that will love me unconditionally, will never judge me, and they've been around for a long time.
Yep.
And I know I know I can count on those people. So I don't have a whole lot. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of friends, but I don't have a whole lot of best friends and people that I really rely on. So, you know, I think that they've been around me for long enough. They come to my gigs. They're so supportive. They buy my albums and they adore me and I adore them. And, you know, they're not musical. One's a nurse and one works at Bunnings and studying, you know, sociology. And it's, you know, it's just the way it is. And it's, we all have something in common, you know, we all love each other.
And it's like
people.
You said too, sometimes you draw on them for inspiration for songs, like you said.
Exactly. I've got one song about my best friend.
And they know it's about them.
Yes, she
and
does.
Do you have to sort of go...
She's very proud.
I was going to say, so do you have to say, look, I don't know, let's just call her Melissa. Are you happy that I've written this song about you? You know, like,
well, first thing I did was play it for
her.
Yeah, and she cried.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really cool. Because
you make people cry. That's fantastic.
Yeah, look, it's just she inspires me. The funny thing is she's her and her partner are the happiest couple I know. Yep. They're just crazy in love. And she said to me one night over a beer, she's like, you know, it's crazy that I can't marry the love of my life. Yeah. And I thought, wow, that's reality check. You know, no matter how you feel about gay marriage or how you feel about, you know, gay people, at the end of the day, that's how they feel, and that just put a real reality on it for me. You know, that they can vote, they can do all these other things, but they can't get married, and it just doesn't make any sense. So I kind of read it as a little dedication to her. It's very topical at the moment, and it's very much something that is in the media, and hopefully will change. Hopefully they will bring in gay marriage and allow people like my best friend to marry the love of her life. I mean, she deserves that.
Oh yeah, look, and absolutely, and I'm with you because I think you can't. You know, wrap up love and make it how people want it to be anymore. You know, if you love someone, it doesn't matter whether the same sex or the opposite sex. It doesn't matter. Love is love no matter what.
Absolutely.
However you wrap it up, you know. And I'm the same as you. I don't campaign for it, but I do believe they have a right to get married. So now, speaking of campaigns, you're very involved with the homelessness.
Yeah.
Tell me something about that. What do you do?
Well, I'm the ambassador for Homeless Connect in Newcastle. And it's funny, I got into it because my dad was the first in our family to do this. My dad's a psychologist, a DGO in Newcastle, and he was working with a girl in high school before I was born, actually, and her family were abusing her, and she needed to get out, and my parents took her in as their own, and she lived with us, and they kind of raised her and helped her and put her out on her own and whatever. She's my godmother, so she's sort of part of our family. You know, she's like a pseudo auntie, godmother, whatever in our family. She now works at Homeless Connects because she was homeless, you know, and she's lived in her car before, and she's had a really tough life, but she's, you know, great now, and I'm sure she'll have her ups and downs again, as we all do, but she's, you know, a brilliant person, and she's full of love and kindness, and, you know, really inspires me. So when she approached me about doing it, I thought, well, of course, A and B. I mean, I used to take strays in off the street when I was a kid. That's what I did. I was that weird kid, you know, the one that
stray people, stray animals. You're referring to
stray people. Oh. Absolutely. My parents used to be like, oh gosh, she's got another one. But I'd like, you know, my best friend's boyfriend would get kicked out of, you know, for doing something in high school, and we'd take them in and we'd get them back on their feet, get them a job. I mean, that's just, I got it from my dad. It's just what we did, you know, and I just felt that was a natural thing to go into because I've always been so passionate about it. So, and there's only a few things I get behind, and that's one of them. The Newcastle Knights, I'm an ambassador for them. That's another one. But, you know, there's only a few things I choose, and that's very important to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and doesn't it make you wonder, for such a progressive country, that we're still very backward in that respect? We still have, like, I find it amazing that we are the lucky country, and yet we've still got a phenomenal amount of people that are homeless right now.
Yeah, I just don't think people are aware.
They're not.
And that's what it is. That's what this is about. It's about creating awareness.
Exactly correct. Yeah, I was reading up on it last night, and you're dead set right. I don't think people live in a fog, because that's arrogant to say that, but I do believe that people wander through life focusing on what's important to them and what's around them.
We all do it.
Their friends and family, and forget to look outside the circle and go, look, there is someone out there literally sleeping in the park. You know, it's crazy, and it's only been the last 6 months I've become really aware of the numbers of homeless people. It's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So it's a credit to you to get in and behind and support something like that, Catherine.
So yeah.
So do you want to play a song for me?
I'd love to. Speaking so much of Newcastle,
I know. Could you play the Charlestown Road for me? I've got a lot of memories of Charlestown Road, Catherine.
Me too. Me too. Trust me. All right. Well, this is the next single anyway, so I figured it'd be appropriate to play. Here we go.
Mom yelled at his kids to put our toys away. Play games that your sister can play. My brothers learned young they had to do it my way. On Charlestown Road, cricket in the yard with the family, playing underneath that apricot tree. Built a cubby house, just my brother and me, on Charlestown Road. I still remember falling asleep each night to the sound of diesel engines and trucks rolling by. Do we ever stop missing our childhood home? No matter how far or where I roam, I know I won't. Charlestown Road. Well, I had to share a room, just my brother and me, the youngest two in our family. The older boys got to have their own, you see, on Charlestown Road. Catching cicadas in the big gum tree, hold 'em in your hands and then set 'em free. Lying on the branches in the summer breeze, on Charlestown Road. I still remember falling asleep each night to the sound of diesel engines and trucks rolling by. Do we ever stop missing our childhood home? No matter how far or where I roam, I know I won't. Charlestown Road. So different now I wouldn't recognize where the roses flew is now fenced inside. Seems like a memory, like a picture slide. Charlestown Road.
Yay! Yay for Catherine Britt. That is a beautiful song,
Thank
Catherine.
you.
You know what? It sounds great on the CD, but like I was mesmerised while you're playing it live then. That's beautiful.
Cool. Thank you very
That's
much.
beautiful. And
Thank
like you said, I've got fond memories.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a story I'll tell you off air because it's not an on-air story.
Okay.
About a gentleman, a trolley in Charlestown Road.
Oh, there you go. Sounds like a good one. Can't wait.
So you've got, now looking at all these shows, you're playing at Lizottes tonight with Tim Rogers.
Yep.
That must be a thrill.
It is. Tim's, one of the best singer-songwriters we have here in Australia, and I feel so honoured just to be in his presence. And his new album's
Absolutely.
brilliant, so
It is,
come
yeah,
on
it
out
is.
to the show. It's going to be great.
I'm going to come out, actually.
Yay!
Yeah, I might come down tonight
I was
and
gonna say,
have a look.
I thought you might be tired or whatever.
I'm
like
always
the
tired.
life you live, my goodness.
I'm
so
always
thank
tired.
you. Great. Yeah, definitely come.
Richard said to say hello too, by the way.
Oh, hello, Richard.
Now, so what you've got Saturday, you're at Lizottes DY, and Sunday, back up to Lizottes Newcastle again because you played at Lizottes last night.
Yep.
You must be tired also, are you?
I'm pretty tired, yeah.
And so then you've got the Lizottes run. Then Wednesday the 15th, the Waratah Hotel, Hobart, Tasmania. You're all over the place, aren't you?
Yeah,
with this tour? That's
it's a great tour. We're going everywhere, even up to Darwin and Perth and everywhere. So, go online if you can't make it out tonight. Go online and check out on catherinebritt.com or on Tim's website or whatever. All the tour dates are up there. So hopefully we can get to somewhere near you soon.
That's cool. And you do have www.catherinebritt.com. And you've got a Twitter as well. So you can follow Catherine Britt at twitter.com, Catherine Britt.
Yep.
You can follow you. I think I'm already following
Facebook
you. You got a Facebook, and you got a
everything.
MySpace, and the whole social media. And speaking of social media, it's almost instrumental these days for an artist, isn't it, to get your music out there?
I think so, yeah. Look, it's totally key. And it's, there's an art to it. They actually teach classes on it now. I just saw an email that went out the other day from the record label to all the artists explaining, the smartness behind social media and how to address it and use it as a tool. Yeah. And it really is such a part of what we do, and I think it's important that you can connect to fans like that. Facebook can be your biggest enemy too, but it's something that if you use it right, can be very, very well done, and very appropriate. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me I've got two more questions for you. The last one I always ask all my guests.
Yeah.
But this particular question, what's up next for you? I know you said you're a perfectionist and you obviously set yourself goals and what's the ultimate for Catherine Britt? What is where you want to be?
At the end of the day, my goal is to be world-renowned as a credible singer-songwriter. And I think I've got a long way to go, towards that goal. But, I've got my whole life in front of me to prove myself to the world. And I just think there's no limit to what I want to do, and I think, it'd be great to just continue to make this a living, and I mean, that in itself is an achievement in this day and age, getting to make money out of this business. So I feel very fortunate just to get that, and I want that to continue. But look, I have big dreams of, I want to get into, I've got this TV show now on CMC, so I want to get into more screen stuff and things like that. And of course, radio. I want to get more into radio. I've got my radio show in Newcastle, and all sorts of dreams. I've got a couple of side projects happening. One with Tim Rogers that's we're going to be working on later this year and coming out at some stage. So a million things that I want to get into. Yeah, lots of stuff.
Catherine Britt, it's been a pleasure to have you in the studio live with me today. Thank you for coming in.
Pleasure.
And playing your songs. Your album, I predict it's going to be huge.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope people love it like I do.
I'm sure they will. My last question I always ask my guests is what is the last CD that you bought or the last song that you listened to?
Well, actually, I've gotten back into Sweetheart the Radio, the Graham Parsons with the Birds. So I just bought that in Austin, Texas. And I had it when I was a kid, and you just lose stuff through years of moving or whatever. And I went and bought a new copy, and I've been listening to that non-stop. But actually, more recent than that is Tim Rogers' album. I just got it yesterday from the record label, and I've been listening to it non-stop because he wants me to sing these songs, and he's like, can you learn them by tonight? And I'm going, So I'm trying to learn them, but I've been listening to it, and it's just brilliant. If you are not a Tim Rogers fan, this is, it's quite different than anything he's done before. It is really in the vein of what I do, and it's very stripped back, and it's, he's known for You Are My stuff, which is a rock band. But
of course.
It all comes from the same place. Tim Rogers loves Hank Williams too, So I think that's a song title right there. Tim Rogers loves Hank Williams too. But yes, no, he's a great guy. And
that on album number 6
there you go, exactly. Come on out tonight to Lizottes if you're not doing anything. I think there's a couple of tables left. So
cool.
Get in quick. There's only about 5 left, I think.
Yeah, so you can jump on the website and you can order your tickets online, or you can ring Lizottes and pre-book the tickets. Catherine Britt, thank you again very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
And all the best for the rest of the tour.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, no worries.